Hi guys, yesterday we had a Bazi class and then we were talking about lifespan and death. Now I'm not going to teach you how to see that here right now, but we talked about it, and then we talked about how people with a lot of resource stars in their chart very hard to die. Yeah. But what I want to talk about is people who have resource stars tend to live in the past. They keep thinking back to the times when things were better. They keep thinking back to the good old days. There is no good old days one. It's just that on hindsight, right, every day is a good old day, you know. So the point I'm trying to make here is that we live life in the present. And that's the thing, we live life in the present, not in the past. By the same token, we don't live in the future. Yeah. So you know how Facebook has that habit of bringing up memories, postings from the past, right? So it seems that 10 years ago today, Stan got his kidney transplant. He's been gone 3 years now. So naturally, every day when Facebook posts up something, it brings back a memory. Of course, it brings back some feelings. But the point is that we don't live in the past. It's okay to have memories. You're supposed to have memories. You're not senile, you know. And I'm just crossing the road as I'm recording, yeah. So my point is that there are people who have got loved ones that's passed on many donkey years ago, and they still hang on to that, be it 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, they still hang on to that person. It's not healthy. But people with a lot of resource stars in their chart, this is what they do. Yeah, they hang on and they don't let go. They do a lot of mental masturbation. Yeah. So if your day master is water, your resource star is metal, because metal produces water ma. So if you're wood, then water becomes your resource. So that's what I mean by your resource factor. So you go to www.mybazi.com, generate your Bazi, and then from there you can see how much resource element you have in your Bazi lah. So the thing is that people with a lot of resource factor in their chart, right? They think a lot about the past. I think to use the word they think a lot about the past is not accurate, because they live in the past. Now, it's been 3 years since Stan has gone. I missed him a lot. My life is now different. But you need to move on with life. Yeah. And just because I move on with life, I adjust, I adapt, does not mean that I love him less. I think people with a lot of resource star in their chart, they have this strange way of thinking. If I mourn the loss of my loved one many, many years, it shows how much I love him. It doesn't work that way. Okay? So if you have a lot of resource in your party, and you have recently lost someone, be it a parent, a spouse, a child, a pet, because a pet is also a very close part of ourselves, yeah? It's okay to mourn, it's okay to bemoan the loss of someone so important in your life. But don't get stuck in the past. It is good to let go. Okay? Now, to help yourself let go, you need to do things differently. You need to change the way you live your life. You need to shift some furniture around if you need to, because if you change the environment, then it's easier for you to move out of that space. Okay? I say this as gently as I can, because I think feelings are the most important commodity in the world. I played it. Feeling Feelings are the most important commodity in the world, and it is a commodity that generates the most karma. If I like you, I'm nice to you, and therefore I get a lot of good karma. If I don't like you and I'm super nasty to you, then well, I also get a lot of bad karma in return. Correct? So feelings are one of the most important commodities in the world. Treat each other kindly. Treat yourself kindly. Where possible, don't be mean or nasty to anyone, where possible. But sometimes, some people are stubborn, right? So people with a lot of resource are not necessarily stubborn. They are just living in the past. The stubborn ones are those who have a lot of earth in their party. So if you have a lot of earth in your party and the earth happens to be your resource, then it's very difficult to shake the person out of that state. So that's when you have to be a little harder. But proceed with caution lah. Huh? So I mean, my point in sharing this whole thing about resource factor was that because 10 years ago today, it was a very fantastic day for us. Stan finally got his kidney transplant. And that brings me back to you want to take care of your health. Because if you have a lot of resource element in your chart, it also means you have a relatively long lifespan. Okay? So if you have a long lifespan, you want to make sure that your physical body is in good shape. Because you don't want to spend your years of life suffering in pain or having low quality of life. Yeah? So if you have a lot of resource in your chart, you need to make sure that you're in tip-top health. One of the first changes you can make is your diet. Don't eat crap food, don't eat fast food, don't eat processed food. Anything that comes with a label is processed food. The more of these processed foods that you eat, the more damage you do to your liver, your kidney, and you age faster also. Okay? So I think that's all for today for resource factor. But I cannot stress enough the importance of this thing in your chart, because I think for Stan, right, he had this problem since he was young because of not the ideal diet that he was on since young. So this is something that you can change. You start now. So yeah. So people who have a lot of resource factor, please live in the present, be in the moment. It's okay to take a walk down memory lane, but don't stay there. Take a walk down, cry if you want to, be sad if you want to, but don't stay there for too long. Life is in the here and in the now. Okay? Have a great week, guys. Bye.